follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Pauly Howard, Mike Somich, Mitch out back tomorrow. Derek Stevens in half an hour. Was he surprised 12 of the 15 Grandissimo contestants used Kansas City? And we'll get his thoughts on the quarterlies and all the updates here at Circa and a good World Series coming up game one on Friday, which we'll attack and get into in about 10 minutes as well. It's back, the NBA, good doubleheader tonight, and it's great to have it back on NBC. Round ball rock, baby, and we start at 4:30 Pacific. The champs open up at home against the Rockets. Thunder down to 6.5, 227.5 the total. Last year, 68-14, fifth best record in NBA history, the best point differential in NBA history. They were healthy last year. They didn't have any issues until they ran into Denver in the second round. They survived that and then took out Minnesota and struggled but got by Indiana in 7 games. Their win total is 62.5. Already some bad luck as Williams is hurt. I know Zach Cohen made the case for Wallace, so he could go off and have a big game tonight as well. The Rockets win total 53.5. They are minus 230 to win their division. Thunder minus $4 to win their division. Horrible break with Van Vliet out for the year. The big additions getting Kevin Durant and also Finney Smith. Finney Smith is banged up. But the problem I have is they have so many guys that play the same position. And I know a lot of people are high on Reed Shepherd, and I think Reed Shepherd can have a big year and have some big scoring moments and props as well. But with Thompson and Durant, a talented team that did so well last year, but without Van Vliet, who can be the glue, that's a big loss. But the concern I have is so many guys play the same position, Mike, and that's the issue I have with the Rockets and even getting their win total up and over in a loaded Western Conference if you're asking them to win 54 games.
Yeah, Western Conference is absolutely loaded. And the big move was Durant heading to Houston in the offseason. You mentioned the Van Vliet injury. I don't think you can downplay how important he was to this team because you don't really, Reed Shepherd going to be your starting point guard. We'll see if he's actually going to be the one who handles the ball the majority of the game. That, to me, is where Van Vliet was so valuable to this team. He was the one who was consistently going to bring it up the court. He was going to be your main ball handler. You're now losing that piece, and so the big question becomes, what do you do to get your 5 best on the floor? Because I'm not sure Reed Shepherd is one of your 5 best players on this team. And if that's the case, then it's Amen Thompson. It's going to be Kevin Durant that are going to be bringing the ball up and initiating the offense for the Rockets. And I'm not sure how that looks. I think that's one of the more fascinating storylines we have tonight is if Amen Thompson is going to be the one who's going to bring up the ball, what is this Rockets offense going to look like? Is it going to be a lot of guys playing one-on-one? Are you going to get the ball movement you want? Do you try and play through Şengün at the center position and kind of create a mini Jokic there in Houston? This is going to be a fascinating side of it. I want to lean into that when I'm betting this game. I'm wondering how crisp this Rockets offense is going to be here against one of the best defenses, one of the highest steal defenses in the NBA. You can get SGA over 2.5 steals and blocks in this game. He averaged 2.2 steals a game, 1.7 steals a game last year, over 1.1 blocks last year. He's minus 105 right now for over 2.5 steals plus blocks for SGA. I'm going to go to that direction to play this game from a prop perspective. I think this is a Rockets team that's going to struggle with turnovers, especially at the start of the season when they're figuring out how to operate inside this offense. SGA, one of the guys that can really benefit from that. And this is a spot where, he usually is getting a block plus a game, and he's usually getting a couple steals. I think he's the beneficiary here. So I'll go SGA over 2.5 steals plus blocks in this first game, which is going to be fascinating to watch. I think the Thunder are going to be as good as advertised across the long term, assuming they stay healthy. But they missed Chet for the majority of last year. They were still the best team in the regular season. It's going to be tough to knock this Thunder team off their throne.
Do you think they get bored at all, though? And maybe just take the floor knowing they're so good and you don't respect your opponent? The West is so strong. I think that's a big ask, though, even with the Williams injury right off the bat to get to 63. Or maybe you don't see it that way.
I think it's a big ask because of the conference that they're playing in. But when you look at this roster, I kind of love the chip on the shoulder factor, right? Where you've got SGA, who was traded as a young player. The chip exists there. Yeah. You've got Chet, who there was a lot of talk around, should he be undrafted, where he was, and then the injury in the first year. Dort, Hartenstein, Caruso, Wiggins. These are a bunch of guys that didn't get the easiest path to success. And so I trust them more than someone who was taken 1 overall and just was able to kind of coast right into success here. They had to work for every bit of it. I don't think that they want to lose it easily. I think you still see a very motivated Thunder team. The win total's tough for me. It's such a big number in such a difficult conference that I'm not willing to just bang the over. I do think they are the team that's there at the end, though.
You can bet a parlay on Cleveland, the Knicks, and the Thunder to win their division, and it pays plus 140. I like that. I think that's
not bad
good.
At all.
That's pretty good.
I mean, the Thunder are going to be tough to knock off inside that division. I'm like we said earlier in the last segment, I like Cleveland quite a bit to be able to win that division. I think they're just the deepest team there. The Knicks would be the only concern for me, but then the question is who, right?
It'd be Philly then, really right? Philly, they can't.
It'd have to be Philly or Boston. Yeah. And I'm a little higher on Boston, even sans Tatum, than I think a lot of people are. But at the same time, I'm not sure they're able to win that division.
They load management up the wazoo. I don't think that's and then the Paul George factor as well. The defending champs are on a 5-1 ATS run last 6 openers. Houston's 1-9 last 10 straight up in openers as well. The nightcap, Golden State now up to 2.5 against the Lakers. No LeBron. I know you're listening, Todd. I got to get to a Laker game here before LeBron calls it quits. 227.5 the total. The Warriors were phenomenal last year once they acquired Butler, and their win total is 47.5. The Lakers' win total dropped a little bit. I know there was a good article up about what David Purdom had it about what the Lakers did now, what you do with the LeBron news. He could miss the 3 weeks. 46.5 the total. Brand new Luka. I love the acquisition of Ayton. Brian Windhorst made a good point on ESPN about the last year, especially in the second half. So many key players the Lakers had had injuries, dealing with a lot of stuff, and that hurt them. So I can trust a Vincent, a Vanderbilt, an Ayton, guys like that. You bring in Marcus Smart, so what he has left in the tank. Hopefully he can defend. And then Reeves also. He put up huge numbers when LeBron was out and the Lakers were dealing with injuries as well. So there's the 2 trends you need before this game. 9 of the last 10 Laker-Warrior games have gone over, and the Lakers are 1-7 straight up in their last 8 openers. I would lean Golden State tonight, but I don't mind if you want to take Reeves props, considering how well he played when those guys were out. But the big question is, and also great to see this new and improved Luka here after he was, you're right, embarrassed, and Dallas took shots at him on the way out the door as he's completely changed his physique.
Yeah, unbelievable. You're trading a top 3, unquestionable top 3 player in the NBA, and you think it's a good idea to take shots at him out the door. Like, it's not going to motivate him to become even better. And guess what? We get skinny Luka over the summer, who looks like a completely different player, who's awesome in Eurobasket, played very well over there for Slovakia. I'm fascinated to watch this game. It's such a – you can't understate how lucky the Lakers are to say, okay, we're missing LeBron. Yeah. Don't worry, we've got Luka and we've got Reeves that can still put it in, fill the bucket up pretty quickly for us. This is going to be a fun game. I didn't bet a side or a total. I would lean toward the Warriors if I was going to do anything here at the 2.5. But I did put in a little bit of prop action here. And I think this is a spot where you can really target where the points are going to come from. You mentioned Reeves. He's been phenomenal when you didn't have LeBron or Luka in the lineup. I think Luka's going to get his. And then on the other side, Steph Curry's still the prolific scorer on this Warriors team. If they want to be competitive, if they want to win this game, he's got to put points on the board. You can throw in a little adjusted point parlay here. I put Luka at 25+, Steph at 20+, Reeves at 18+. You get that for plus 125. So 25 from Luka, 20 from Steph, 18 from Reeves, plus 125. Not a huge bet for me, but a way to get some action in on a game where I don't have a big edge on the side of the total.
I like the acquisition of Horford, and there's a couple people at ESPN with their numbers say Golden State flies over their win total as well, and they're the favorites to win the Pacific Division. Where are you at with the Clippers, who are as low as 45.5? Their win total is 49.5 now, as they have a deep roster. But there's a ton of older guys on it. Now you got the Kawhi distraction and the investigation from the league.
Look, it's funny, JVT on right before us. He I don't know if it's a shtick, but he just picks the Clippers every single year now. Does. And I fell for it.
Yes, he does.
I fell for it last year. I had some Clippers tickets. I felt terrible about myself looking at that, watching that playoff series as they go out. Oh man. I mean, you're looking at Harden, Paul, Beard, Leonard. I don't trust this team long term. You're right. There's
Yeah.
depth. Yeah. But I can't buy in on this. The Clippers are the best team in the West, or they're going to be able to come out of the West, or anything like that. I like them on the under on the win total. I just don't know what you're going to get from this team this year. I don't trust James Harden. I don't trust Kawhi Leonard, especially with all the distractions that are going on. I'm out on Beal. Chris Paul is like an afterthought for me at this point. I understand you've got a bunch of veterans that have been good at basketball at times. I can't get behind this Clippers team as rostered, and I do think that you're going to see some of the off the field shenanigans turn into on the court issues for this Clippers team, which isn't exactly a team that avoids issues the majority of the time anyway.
Yeah, I'd say I probably have to go under 49.5 now that it's moved so much in their favor, and it's also an interesting Eastern Conference with what the Magic did, with what the Hawks did, and then Celtics getting rid of everyone as well, that everyone's picking a Cavs Knicks Eastern Conference Finals. Michael state his case for the Cavs coming up. Football meets flavor with VEASAN and Omaha Steaks, the official sponsor of tailgating, built for the grill. Omaha Steak Smash Burgers, pre-smashed, crafted from premium aged beef. Go from freezer to bun in just 5 minutes with juicy, unforgettable flavor, and you get 16 free smash burgers with any order of $129 or more, plus 15% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com/VEASAN, omahasteaks.com/VEASAN, delivered right to your door. Phenomenal food, great burgers, awesome steaks. Minimum purchase may apply. Mike on the Cavs, and this has never happened before in World Series history, but I think it will this year. Coming up on Follow the Money, VEASAN, the Sports Betting Network, Sirius XM Channel 158.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Tomorrow, the big one in the Garden. The Cavs are 1.5 and 227.5 in New York against the Knicks. Also, Celtics play the Sixers. Boston 2.5 at home and 228.5 the total. Mike is on the SGA prop steals and blocks to over 2.5 steals and blocks, minus 105 at DK. Also, the fun bet, Luka 25 plus, Steph 20 plus, and Reeves 18 plus $1.25. The Cavs are plus 550 to have the best record in the league. What do you think of the Cavs after they had that great season last year and then fell short and stubbed their toe in the second round against the Pacers?
Yeah, they're a team I want to focus on during the regular season because that's back-to-back years we saw them fall short in the playoffs, and it's a roster that is constructed very well to be a regular season win machine because you've got multiple options. You can have one, even two players suffer an injury and still be able to win games in the Eastern Conference. They've got a unique defense setup as well. You've got Mobley over there. You've got Allen. That's not something teams see all that much. So in a playoff series, when you can plan for that and you're playing them 7 times in 2 weeks, it's a lot easier to attack it. Whereas during the regular season, when you've got a game every 2 days, every 3 days, and it's a unique style of defense, it's not quite as easy to come up with a strategy to then implement because you don't have the practice time to be able to do so. So I think the Cavs still a machine in the regular season. You get them even money to be the number 1 seed in the East. I think you can definitely expect them to be up there at the number 1 seed. I think that they've got the depth to be able to handle the regular season more than teams like New York, who is the second choice in that market right now at plus 255. Just for context, the third choice is the Magic at plus 650, so it drops down pretty aggressively, pretty quick. I like their over in the win total market. You can get 56.5 on the Cavs right now. They won 64 games in the regular season last year, and for everything that is a negative around the second apron for these basketball teams, as a bettor, it's kind of a positive in this situation because you know exactly what they're rolling out. They're not going to be able to make any aggressive moves during the regular season. This is going to be the Cavs team that we saw last year. Now, they added Lonzo Ball this year as well, which we'll see what that kind of adds to the mix here. But it's a Cavs team I trust to be able to dominate a weak East. And I think that's really the biggest piece of this. I have them over 56.5 wins. I think that they're going to be able to eclipse that mark relatively easily. Best record, I think, is an interesting one because it's how far up can they go and what does the attrition in the West look like? Is it something where Oklahoma City can win 65, 66 games? I do think they're a better version of themselves this year, but I think the West got better as well. So that to me is the main question. Do you think they can get more wins on the board than Oklahoma City? At plus 550, I don't mind it because I do think that one of every 5 years they have that opportunity to do that. But I love the win total over here on the Cavs. The even money on the number one seed in the East, I'd rather just take over 56.5 wins than even money on number one East seed. Very good. I played, I mentioned that that parlay, Cleveland, Knicks, OKC division winners plus 145. Zach Cohen, I like this. He gave out on Mitch and JVT's podcast, OKC, Houston division winner parlay, small plus money. Warriors over, 47.5. Again, a lot of people who have their run numbers and analytics think they're going to fly over that. I love bringing in Al Horford, and they were so good once they acquired Butler last year. Mavs under 41.5. Deeper dive into this in pocket. Heat over, Nets under. The money quote from Joe Tsai, the owner, bet they're tanking, and they need that pick to be a good pick. Lakers under. I tell you, they get me every year. And now I bet the Clippers win total over, but I mean, they get me come playoff time. You're right. And certainly they lost in 7 to Denver, and a big reason why was Harden. But they blew one of those games in Denver, and they blew game 4 at home when they were down big, but came back to take the lead, and then the dunk from Gordon got him as well. But Clippers over 47.5. Some futures I played as well with the NBA getting out underway tonight. This has never happened before in World Series history, but I think it will. There's a good chance, and I'm betting on it this year. That is Freddie Freeman. No one's ever gone back-to-back MVPs in the World Series. He's 9-1. And I think the narrative's there, and the guy can put up big numbers. I'm with you. Ohtani's unbettable, especially the fact that finally got the bat going, but he's only going to pitch likely in one game in this series. And Freeman can deliver against all these righties that Toronto will throw. So Freddie Freeman, 9-10-1, World Series MVP. Game 1 is Friday night. It's supposed to be Snell for the Dodgers. We'll see what the Jays do. Even without home field, the Dodgers are minus 215 in most spots. They're as high as 250 at Caesars and Will Hill. Game 1, $1.45, 7.5 the total. This is the 5th time one team was off a sweep and the other team went the full 7. The team off the full 7-game series is 4-0 when that occurs. These teams were number 1, tied for first in comeback wins at 52. The winner of Game 1 has gone on to win 24 of the last 30. Toronto, not many people picking them, but they have a 296 average, averaging 6.5 runs with the lowest whiff rate in the playoffs. Do you give the Jays a shot here? I mean, it's baseball. They got a shot, but I'm not betting them. I'll put it that way. I've got a Dodgers plus 320 ticket that I'm not hedging, which will tell you how I feel about the Jays' opportunities in this series. You mentioned the batting average and the whiff rate. It's the offense for the Jays. That, to me, is the whole key to this series. Because if that offense can show up and they can put up 4, 5, 6 runs a game, the Jays have life in this series. But the problem is you're taking on a top 4 from the Dodgers that were dominant in the playoffs as of now. And that's where it's hard for me to make a really passionate case for the Jays to be able to win this series. You need the Jays pitchers to outperform what they've done. You need the offense to do what it has done against much better starting pitching. And then you're in the series. Like, that doesn't even win it for you. That puts you in the position to be able to win the series. I just think with the Dodgers' first 4 starters, it's awfully difficult to find a way how they're going to lose this series with how good their offense has been as well. You mentioned it first segment of the show. You can get Dodgers to win Game 1, win the series at plus money. Yeah. I think that's a very good look because if they win Game 1, they're winning the series, right? And so right there, you get Blake Snell, and essentially you're trying to just get him home and get that game home to get plus money on it. And on the MVP odds, Shohei at plus 170, plus 180. I get it. He's the best player in the world. Probably the best player to ever pick up a bat or a glove and play baseball. But it's just too short for a series that could go 4, 5, 6 games. You're not going to see the dominance on the pitching side because you're only getting 1 start from him. Let's say that he just has an okay start. Well, all of a sudden, this award is who hits the best in this series. And you've got other mashers for this Dodgers team. You mentioned Freddie Freeman at 10-1. I think he's definitely as someone that has to be in the discussion. I think, we've seen Teoscar Hernandez have 3 home run games. He could have one big game, and all of a sudden he's in discussion. Mookie Betts hitting 2 in this lineup. He's been crushing the ball. Let's say he takes a couple out of the park that were doubles or triples in the previous series. All of a sudden he's in the discussion. He's 22-1. I would rather take one of those secondary or tertiary Dodgers hitters than play Ohtani at plus 170.
Well, number one, you'd have to get into this Dodger bullpen, which I don't think they'll be able to do. what would scare me here from a Toronto standpoint is I felt like I just saw this. Milwaukee came in with home field, this great offense, best record, number one in run differential, and they hit 118 and scored 4 runs in the series. And then what, they have 13 hits in the series? It was ridiculous what happened. And the Dodger starters have a 1.40 ERA in the playoffs. And they beat them 2-1, 5-1, 3-1, 5-1. I guess the one thing I could like if I'm Toronto is, well, maybe it corrects itself, but the Dodgers really haven't gone off offensively. You know, because Ohtani was in that slump before he carried them to the win on Friday night. But 2-3 runs in the Milwaukee series, 1 with 5, that was misleading. All the damage was done late against the Milwaukee bullpen. And then they were shut down by Sanchez in both starts. And then did a lot going against the Phillies as well. So maybe if the starters can go 5-6 innings, I can turn it over to these bullpen with a ton of lefties with the Blue Jays. If they treat it that way, maybe I can hang in and maybe win some 3-2 games if that's crazy.
Yeah, you got to steal games. I mean, that's really how it is. You got to get 5 or 6 out of your starters, and you've got to put up 4 or 5 runs a game if you're the Blue Jays. And if you do put up 4 or 5 a game, you need to win that baseball game. That, to me, is the other big part of this. They can't go for 5 runs and lose 6-5 to the Dodgers. The games where their offense is able to step up and perform at the level they need to win, that pitching staff has to match that game and make sure you don't end up losing one of those games. That's what makes the Dodgers scary. Like we saw that the first round, they popped some 10 spots on the board. Like they have the ability to just outscore you if that pitching isn't really isn't as dominant as we'd expect. I do like this Blue Jays team in their lineup. I mean, that's the funny part about this. I think this was the toughest matchup for the Dodgers.
Right, I agree.
I'm just not sure this Blue Jays team is good enough to be able to line up with them. The fact that you have Kershaw, who's your number 5 starter, is not going to start. You've got a good bullpen here as well. I got one more question for you here, Pauly.
Yeah.
-145, no game goes to extra innings. I kind of like
really?
the -145.
Oh, who's got that?
I kind of like. The DraftKings has that up.
Oh,
I kind of like
good.
-145 that nothing goes to extra innings. I just don't. I think you have a good enough bullpens on both sides that if they have a lead in the 7th, they're going to be able to shut it down. So -145, no extra inning game in the series as well.
Very good. You know what I did last year? I bet no grand slam. And Freeman took me out right away with the iconic shot. I know that you can bet that. You can bet, will a game end in a walk-off, and will there be a triple? One triple in the series, $1.15. Was Derek Stevens surprised by all the Kansas City that was used in the contest last week? He's up next with a huge jackpot to show us as well on Follow the Money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Back at it, Pauly Howard, Mike Somich, Mitch out back tomorrow. It's our weekly visit with Derek Stevens, owner of Circa, the D, and the Golden Gate. Don't forget the open bar every night, 6 to 7, and the free play as well. The most underrated spot to stay. Get a suite over there and rent out the penthouse as well. If you have a big party, you got the grill out there. Always a good time at the Golden Gate. He joins us now to talk contests and everything going on here at Circa in the world of sports. How you doing?
Pretty good. Hey, I'll tell you what. Last night, I know it looked like Seattle got through pretty easy, but I'll tell you what.
No.
They did everything possible to allow the Texans to get back in. We had a few, Circa survivors on Seattle, and it was not as easy as the score looked. It was a little bit of a sweat.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, 4 turnovers.
But also it's just run the ball and go home. And then Darnold making it into, what the hell is he doing in the end zone, carrying a ball like a loaf of bread? Sam, these are 300-pound guys coming after you.
Yeah, I mean, the turnovers, the clock management. What is he doing earlier in the fourth quarter, snapping with 10 seconds? What do you you got to run the clock, and then you're not running the clock out when you get the ball back. I couldn't believe it.
Yep.
Obviously, you could tell House needed Seattle too. So I was going berserk.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
As I said at the top of the show, doesn't say much about Houston. 4 turnovers, defensive touchdown, 12 penalties by Seattle, missed field goal. They still cover. Ridiculous. Were you surprised how many people in Grandissimo, and I watch you guys every Saturday night, you do a great job, Mike and the crew, 12 of the 15 used Kansas City. I was stunned.
No, I kind of thought that made sense. You know, in Grandissimo, you're not that worried about Thanksgiving. You're not that worried about Christmas. So you're just trying to get along and survive. Not everybody had Grandissimo available either. Only 14 out of the 15 did. So 12 out of the 14 that did. It might be the same thing looking at this week.
6 have already used the Colts, though, my
There
friend.
we go.
Come
I know.
on, let's go.
There we go. Look at that. So you got a 14-point favorite. You got a big favorite, but not everybody could use them.
Yep, that's great. And then how about the guy who had Denver? I mean, just an all-timer. Shutout through 3, 33 points in the fourth quarter. Come on.
All-timer. All-timer is right. Crazy. Come on in.
Right there. You'll bring it. You forgot.
Oh, look at Tim Murray.
Good job. Thanks, Tim.
He had delivered a big schedule here.
There you go. Got to have that.
Thank
Get it at
you.
the gift
Look
shop.
at that. Wow.
They sell it at the gift shop, baby. You got to get it.
Yeah.
So the guy who had Denver. But so here's my takeaway, though. With that many people using Kansas City, this could get to Thanksgiving now. And I know Mike can chime in on this as well because he wasn't a fan of it, as you guys can disagree. It looks like we're in this stage of we just survive and don't worry more about game theory or picking up equity here.
I think you're right. I mean, with the amount of money on the line at Circa Grandissimo, you look at it a little bit different. 15 individual entries. Implied value is $460,000 right now. You're trying everything just to get by week by week. You know, we had one of the Circa Grandissimo contestants that was with us on Sunday. Andrew Pacheco is his name. First time he's ever played. He's never played Circa Survivor before. First time he ever played.
Okay.
Local guy. And he said, I'd be real happy if there's one other Circa Grandissimo person that got knocked out. I feel real good about that. We're just trying to stay alive. He had Kansas City. So I mean, that's how incremental it is.
Mike, what did you think? You talked to a lot of these people as they entered throughout the summer.
That's the fascinating part about this contest with me, because if you took out the dollar amount, if you said this was a $100 contest instead of $100,000, the value of not using Kansas City would be massive, because you have everyone burn Kansas City. If you can get through with one of the other teams, you've got a huge edge moving forward. And you mentioned the people who don't have the Colts this week. My guess is the majority of the people with them available use them. If you are sitting there in a contest and you didn't use Kansas City last week, and you didn't use Green Bay 2 weeks ago, and you don't use the Colts this week, and all of a sudden you have 3, we'll call it like Swiss Army knives moving forward against a field that has none of those left, you've got a massive edge in this pool. And to me, it's not necessarily the question of how long it goes. It's, can you get to the point where you're forcing your opponents to make tough clicks and you get to make easy clicks? Because these haven't been difficult Survivor weeks the last few weeks with how everyone's been able to get through them.
No, Mike, you're right on. I'll tell you what, when you look at, I've got the Circa Grandissimo availability right now, and I'm just looking at the Thanksgiving schedule. So on Thanksgiving, obviously, you got Kansas City, Dallas, but now there are only 2 that have Kansas City available. Then you look at Green Bay at Detroit. Well, there's only 4 with Detroit available. Yeah. There's only 2 with Green Bay available. So you don't have, it's not like you got a lot of options here. You've got Cincinnati at Baltimore.
Right.
Well, it seems like it should be pretty straight. It should have been Baltimore, right? But only nine Circa Grandissimo entrants have Baltimore available. And maybe that's not even that great of a save anymore.
No. Until
Baltimore starts coming back, Lamar comes back, and you never know what's going to happen with Cincinnati at this point.
And now the Philly game's tough on Black Friday. That's no gimme. The Bears are tough.
Yeah, that's where I don't think I think that if we'll get to Thanksgiving Circa Grandissimo, it's going to end that weekend. I don't know how it goes past that. So yeah. I think the strategies that everybody's used has been great.
All right. How about the other contest here? Give us a rundown and go to the website to check out the availability, by the way, and also who's been used and all the standings and the quarterlies and all that stuff.
Yeah, Circa Survivor had a pretty easy week. Not a lot of people get knocked out in Circa Survivor. So we're down to 4,214 entries. So we went down from, I think it was 46 down to 42-14. So not many people got knocked out. The biggest team of death last week was Thursday night, was the Steelers.
Yeah, surprising.
And after that, everybody really kind of got through. Just some near the bottom, but it was okay.
Well, once again, what gives here? 19 teams used. Is it going to end?
Yeah.
19 teams, and we only had 4 no pick. So I guess we're improving. But still, there was, one guy was ticked off. I was watching you Saturday night, but this is incredible with the no pick and 19 teams used again as we're in week 7.
Yep. 19. Yeah, you're right about the no pick. That was tough. It's tough on my buddy Jeff Benson.
Yeah, right, call
Oh, God. When I see the no pick, I can only dream about, the phone call, the email.
No accountability. It's always like, hey, you guys, somehow you screwed me, right? Feel terrible, right? What happened to Private Plain Wayne? I don't see his name up there at the top.
Private Plain Wayne came down to earth. He went 2-3. He's tied for third, 26-9. 26-9. But we got two new leaders, Frank James and Potato Kamish, 27-8. So
Okay.
those two are tied for first. Private Plain Wayne. We're doing a second segment.
We
right?
are. We are going to stick around. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, he's part of the second segment.
Yes.
The story of what happened overnight last night.
Okay.
Yeah, he is 26-9. And you're telling me on the last place side of things,
Right. Put it up. Yep. You got to put it up, guys. This is for Derek, and this is got Tammy here. Follow the money viewer since day one. There she is right there, the hot goalie T-shirt. Good-looking fella on that T-shirt there. It wasn't a mullet. It was long hair back in the day in high school. That's Tammy Evans. She is one of your booby leaders. She went 1-4. She's 1-9 in the last couple weeks. That is Evans Catch, I think the name is Evans. But Tammy Evans is your leader in the booby here at Circa.
Wow. All right.
That's her right there.
Decent fan. There you go.
Right. Hard to pick the losers, right? But she's doing a great job of it.
Very nice.
As well. The other thing that surprised me, the Circa Millions consensus has been so bad. 30% coming into this week. It went 4-1.
I know. And now it had a hot week. It's unbelievable.
Yes.
It really was unbelievable to see how the consensus picks have done this year. But yeah, came back with a 4-1 week.
Yeah, right. Who would you use this week in Survivor? What do you think?
Oh, if I was in Circa Grandissimo?
Both.
If I'm in Circa Grandissimo, I'm not turning down a 14-point favorite.
Okay. Huge. That 6 have already used them. Huge.
Yeah. So after that,
okay.
Well then, are you looking at Falcons? Like if you have Atlanta, I mean Atlanta's going to be in the mix.
Right.
I would tend to think I would feel more comfortable with the Falcons after watching the Dolphins debacle. I feel much better with the Falcons than I would taking the Bengals over the Jets. So that'd be my thought at this point.
Okay. And how about that big bet you took on did it hurt that it fell 37? Open 41.5. You still took a big bet on 36, I think, on the Browns game.
Yeah, we took a big bet, but it all played out. All
worked out.
Yeah, I mean those games. The weather reports were a bit exaggerated relative to the reality. So
yes,
both of the weather games, the Bears game and the Browns game, going over. Was good for the house, but boy, were we vulnerable on some middles. But it didn't hurt us too bad.
Okay, very good. Another segment coming up with Derek Stevens. We'll get to the World Series, Yurfie, their series price, and the sexy matchup with Game 1 getting underway Friday. And I'm going in fresh. He sent in pictures. This is supposed to be an incredible story. He's going to try to get through the story without laughing. This is going to be a good one. I'm on the edge of my seat. And what we're betting coming up in pocket up next. Follow the money.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. Nope. 5-1. Nope. 10-1. You're on.
All right, split with the Kirby props. He went under the strikeouts, but went over the outs. And I thought Dan Campbell would stick it to the league. We didn't get the Lions in that position, though, where they could run the razzle-dazzle with Goff. I thought he'd try to stick it to the league. Goff anytime touchdown, 15-1, no good. And the under in the Texans game also blew up with all the turnovers. Fairbairn does it again, 15-3 overrun. Should be 16-2. We missed one in Jacksonville a couple weeks ago. He's been great, and that prop continues to cash as well. to the new stuff, and the NBA gets underway tonight with a doubleheader. But I got to come here. I didn't know. Circa, thanks for Derek pointing it out. Freeman's 15-1 here, World Series MVP. And Thunder and Rockets win the division, $1.25. Warriors over 47.5 wins. Lakers under 46.5. Clippers over 47.5. A good one tonight. Jonathan Davis put me on this. The Seattle Kraken are on a back-to-back. Last year, on back-to-backs, they were 0-12. They lost by 2+ goals 11 times, and 11 of the 12 times scored 2 goals or fewer. Incredible. Washington puck line and Washington in regulation tonight with those games. Good luck, everyone.
I've got four in place here. Give me the Cavs season win total over 56.5 wins. Talked about that one a couple segments ago. I'm going to the ice, taking the Oilers. Let's lay the goal and a half, plus 180, taking on the Senators. Oilers haven't been able to score. Everybody's healthy. That's going to turn itself around. Market's down on the Oilers. Jump on them when you're getting a good price. -1.5, plus 180 on the Oilers tonight. Give me La Tech, -3 against Kennesaw State tonight. This is a La Tech defense that has been able to absolutely dominate their opponents, and they have a good mix-up in the run and pass game. I think La Tech, pretty easy cover at home tonight. Again, laying the 3 with La Tech. And then closing it out here, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, over 2.5 blocks plus steals tonight for a Rockets team that's figuring out who their point guard is.
Very good. Excellent. Good luck, everyone. All right. Thanks to Derek sticking around again. I'm going in fresh here. Now, what happened? What happened last night with your friend? Take it away.
All right. So this starts on Saturday. So I got two guys. Motor City Smitty, you met him, and Rayo, another one of our crew, right? Rayo is the luckiest guy we've ever seen. In 30 years, the luckiest guy we've ever seen. Always lucky. Well, Rayo and Motor City Smitty have a bet going. They're trying to lose weight, right?
Okay.
And, they're competitive. And I guess the way the bylaws got set up is the other guy can call the other guy out to get on the scale at any time.
Okay.
He's got to hit a certain level. So Smitty says to Ray, I'm calling you out. You got to get on. So comes over to his house, goes, I'll make weight. Well, he doesn't. Takes his coat off, doesn't. Takes his belt off, phone, wallet, shoes, the whole deal. Still didn't make it, but he's close. Takes his watch off, takes his shirt off, all that gets on, still doesn't make weight. All upset, he loses. So Smitty gets a bonus here, right? So Rayo gets all dressed up, all upset. He storms out of the house, puts all the stuff on out. Well, later that day, Smitty's at home. Ray left his watch there, and he had a cleaning lady coming over. He didn't want to leave it, so he put it on. Since he put on that watch, he's 12-0. Has not lost a football bet. He won Saturday. He won Saturday night. Then he won Sunday. Swept the board Sunday. Swept the board. He's texting us all like, bring your brooms if you're around me. He sweeps the board. So anyway, what happens is yesterday, these guys all come together. They all go to Rayo's house. They play cards out for Monday Night Football. They've been doing it for 25 years. Well, Smitty's like, I don't know. I don't think I can make it. Well, because he doesn't want to give the watch back, right? He wants to hang on the watch. So he's making up a story. He doesn't want to give the watch back. So what ends up happening, comes up, I can't make it. I'm tied up. I got work to do. So he doesn't show up. But he still goes down to the casino. He bets the tickets. And he wins every single bet on Monday Night Football. So anyway, this morning, he goes down to cash those tickets and make another. He's still wearing the watch, right? Yeah. Still wearing the watch. And then he jumps on Huff and Puff at MGM in Detroit. And I don't know if you saw, I sent you the picture, but he's betting $5 a spin, $5 a push. Now he's changed it into Last Spin Smitty. Look at that. He's got less than $5 left on that. He hits for $81,000 this morning.
Come on.
$81,000 on Huff and Puff.
What did he landed on? What did he get, the mansions or something? And he got the grand on a $5 bet can win that much on Huff and Puff?
Yeah.
Oh my
look at that.
What's incredible about this picture too, and you mentioned it, Derek. Total cash in, $81,734. Win, $81,730. That was his last $5. That was his
last spin.
Oh,
that was his last
left.
spin. Yeah. So now Now he's dodging and weaving about the watch, right?
Yes.
So wait, I sent you what kind of watch it is. I go. You got to keep the watch, man. You got to figure this one out.
Yes.
So what type of watch was this? This was a Rolex. I wrote it down here. What type of watch was this thing? It was a Rolex Sky Dweller, white gold, oyster, flex strap. Okay. So I said, yeah, if you're running that hot, you got to keep the watch. He goes, well, Ray said he wants a cut now. and he said, or else he's got to buy the watch.
Yes.
So Ray goes, yeah, it's not like it's sentimental. I just bought the watch. I'll give it to you for my cost. When I hear that, I don't believe it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. So after he calculated what he gets out of tax, okay, I'll give you the watch, $40,000. So now Smitty's trying to dodge and weave for like $40,000. He might rent it for another week. I don't know. So
I'd rent it too, whatever, right?
Yeah, but now Ray's going over to his house tonight to get the watch. He's probably not going to be there, right?
Can't be.
100%. You run. You fly to Vegas. You get away from Detroit wherever you can to keep that watch on.
81,700 while he was just going to cash out his tickets for Monday Night Football.
And what's the record now? What's the record with picks and props in if you had everything up?
Well, he was 12-0 going into Monday night. He bet 2 sides and 2 totals, went 4-0, so he's 16-0.
Come on.
With the watch. And then he hits for 81,000. 81,000, thinking I better put a little bit in there in the huff and puff. And here's a crazy thing.
If I'm the friend, I sell the watch. You just take the watch and right. But once the luck turns, he's
So now here's Private Plane Wayne. Right. So Private Plane Wayne and Smitty go down on Sunday morning, and they're playing the same machine. They win in 50-50. They win in partners. They make like $1,600 apiece. They're happy, right? They make $1,600. Well, Motor City Smitty on this morning, he goes in. He invited Wayne to come down. Let's go 50-50 again. Wayne's like, I can't. I got the market open. I'm working. I was a stockbroker. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So anyway, it cost Wayne $40,000 for going to work. It cost.
Yes. Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah.
We got to get to that later in the week about good luck stories. And
I'm hoping I get him here this weekend.
Yeah.
Motor City
get him in.
Flush.
Yeah. You got a story like that where you get superstitious, or if you luck like that's incredible. But sure.
I wouldn't take that watch off.
Same underwear, same outfit, whatever. Keep that.
I told Ray, I go, you're in a position of strength. You could demand the watch back.
Could.
I would take a percentage.
Yeah.
You're going to get the watch back. Take a percentage. Absolutely. It's a free roll.
Absolutely. You're minus 240 series price here.
Yeah.
Quickly, what do you think? And liability here with Dodgers Blue Jays.
Yeah, I think Circa Sports is in a position maybe a little different than others. We have some significant futures liability on the Dodgers. We are big Blue Jays fans here at Circa Sports. We had a couple cross sport parlays from NBA that go to the Dodgers back when the Dodgers were still plus like 250 or something like that. A couple of 5-figure parlays going into Dodgers.
Oh, wow.
So we're a little biased towards the Blue Jays. So I tell you, I don't want to give out too much of an opinion because I don't think I have a clear mind.
What about Dave Ross?
Oh, yeah.
Was this the last pick of the blackjack draft? He got the Blue Jays? Win 69,000.
I think that was really unbelievable. Dave Ross. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. I'm rooting for Dave Ross here. This is amazing.
There's the ticket.
Yeah.
He knocked me out on the last hand. Then he advanced into the draft along with the tournament. I don't think his chip count, he didn't do much with the chip count. And then at the end, it's a tough call about who was still left on the board. And at 22-1, he took the Blue Jays.
22-1 on the Invitational. So wait, he knocked you out?
On the last hand, yeah.
Oh, good.
It came down to the last hand. He got blackjack.
Hey, you know what? Dave Ross ought to hedge a little bit. Because where he's at right now, the dollars we're 2-1. He's in Kentucky. He's got to be able to bring a little cash home.
Oh, that's great.
I love it.
Oh, good job. Yeah, that's phenomenal. Thanks, Derek. And send some stuff in too, by the way, about superstitious or a story that can rival that with the watch. Lucky whatever. Maybe hanging out with Christopher Walken. FTM@vsin.com or tweet at us as well. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Derek. Humans and Murray up next. Mitch back tomorrow. Good luck tonight. Cash some tickets. Follow the money. VSiN live from Circa, Sirius XM Channel 158.